This is third lecture of unit 2, and we will study the concept of hydrographs. And prior to that, we will solve this question, and that question in last class we were calculating the storage capacity of the reservoir through mass curve, mass curve. So, I told you that mass curve, in mass curve the storage capacity, okay, storage capacity, suppose the storage capacity, it is say it is demand, it is say it is demand line, and this is the supply line, then these ordinate we need to calculate, okay, these ordinate we need to calculate, say this is S1, say this is S2. So, the maximum of S1 and S2, that gives the storage capacity, okay. So, in this example, month wise average monthly runoff rate discharge that has been given, and evaporation, it is the loss, evaporation in mm it is given, precipitation it is given, okay. Monthly demand that is mentioned over here, okay, that is mentioned over here. Now, we need to find the minimum storage capacity of reservoir, so that demand is met throughout all months, okay. So, let us read the questions. The following table gives the average monthly runoff rates as proposed reservoir site, the pan evaporation and the rainfall recorded at nearby meteorological observations, and the estimated monthly demand, okay. The downstream parent rights requires the release of natural flow of 18.5 million cubic in each month, whichever is less, okay. Downstream natural flow, okay, 18.5. The pan coefficient it is 0.75. The average area of submergence as a reservoir is 7.5 kilometer, for which the runoff coefficient may be taken as 0.35, okay. Determine the storage of the reservoir to meet the demands, okay. So, we need to arrange the data in this through this table. First of all, we need to calculate the runoff volume at any month, since discharge is known to us. So, the runoff volume for a month can be calculated by multiplying n, okay, in million cubic, okay, million cubic. If we want to calculate, then we will apply this, and it is it will be 0.0864 Q into n, okay. Q it is given this one, okay, n number of days, okay, in January, number of days 30. So, it will be multiplied by 30 into q is this one. So, we get that one data, okay. Similarly, for remaining, that we have calculated the value of monthly flow, okay. Demand that is the demand that has been shown here, So, this is this column, the data in this column, it is the demand, okay, that is given to us. Evaporation the evaporation it is given evaporation in mm, area is given to us. So, evaporation in million cubic meter, that has been calculated, and release that is 18.5, okay, 18.5 million cubic meter in each month, okay, that has to be released, that has to be released. So this one, okay, so this one 18.5, okay, and for this one it is for May it is 16.07, it is 16.07. So okay, it is 16.07. Rainfall data in million cubic that has been calculated. So the net demand will be summation of 3 plus 4 plus 5 and minus 6, okay, rainfall, okay, that has to be subtracted. So this is the demand, okay, this is the demand, okay, and supply minus demand, supply is this one, So then by subtracting this we get the data in column 8, 2 minus 7. So positive sign shows the surplus water, negative sign shows the deficit. So cumulative deficit is been calculated, okay, and deficit is only for this range, and the maximum value is minus 70.309, and for the rest data it is positive, okay. So it is cumulative surplus. So this will be the reservoir capacity, right. Next, come to the topic of today's class, that is a hydrograph. Hydrograph is a plot between discharge versus time, okay. Prior to that we plotted the discharge versus time in flow duration curve, flow mass curve, okay, but and hydrograph is also the plot between Q and T, okay, okay. So mass duration curve, flow duration curve, that data was too long, for in previous example, the data was 1 year data was there, okay, 1 year data was there, but in case of hydrographs the time interval is too less, it will be in between, say 0 to 10 hours, okay, 0 to 10 hours, 0 to 15 hours maximum. So short term, okay, these are the short term graphs between Q and T, okay, okay. Previous graph, flow duration curve, mass duration curve, that was used to study the flow variation within the months, okay. But here we are interested to study the response of the catchment for some particular rainfall, right. So hydrographs shows time distribution of runoff, okay. Hydrograph is the measure of the response of a catchment or a catchment of a given storm, okay. Immediate response that has to be studied, okay. So this is the difference between flow duration curve and hydrographs, okay. Okay, so this is the catchment, and here the discharge has been recorded, okay. Steam gauge station, the discharge has been recorded, okay. These are the main and these are the distributary for the graph between Q and T, that represents the hydrograph, okay. If this is the input, and this is the output, and rainfall it is the input and this is the output. Okay. Once the precipitation is there, okay, at time t is equal to 0, t is equal to 0, at certain time t the quantity of the discharge that is recorded and it plotted, then we will get that wave. The shape what we are getting, that depends upon the catchment, okay, that depends upon the, okay. Come to next slide, okay. Factors affecting, okay, factors affecting hydrograph. Catchment factors, the two factors are there, catchment factors and storm factors, means precipitation factors, okay, and catchment factors. Catchment factors, size of the channel, what is the size of the channel, that discharge will be dependent, shape of the catchment, slope of the catchment, drainage density. So, on these parameters, the discharge, the output, okay, in terms of discharge due to storm, that will be affected. Okay. Storm factor, duration of the storm, what is the duration, intensity of the storm, direction of the storm, okay, that is the parameter on which the discharge will be where the discharge, that discharge will affect. Next is storm hydrograph, flood hydrograph, total runoff, okay, they are synonymous terms, okay. Flood hydrograph, okay, okay, flood means for short term, okay, that I have told you, okay, graph between q and t for short term, okay. Storm hydrograph, total runoff, okay, in short form SHG, FHG, TRS, they represent the same thing, okay. A storm of certain duration, if it occurs over a catchment, after meeting the catchment losses, the rainfall excess delivered into the stream, then result in, okay. So, that I have told you. The next thing is the component of a hydrograph, as this is the storm, okay, this is the storm, okay, and the duration is d, let the duration is d, okay, and say this is the CG of the storm, okay, CG of the storm. So, at time t is equal to 0, okay, at time t is equal to 0, some time is required to contribute this precipitation as a runoff. So, at this point, say at point A, if this storm is taking part as runoff, then from A to B, it is what A to B, it is rising. This is the rising link. The flow is increasing, and O to A is what? It is the approach segment. Right. And further B to D, okay, B to D, where C is the point where the peak discharge, where we are getting the peak discharge QP, okay, and this one B C D, okay, this is the BD is the crust segment, right, and DE is what? This is the recession rim, or we can say this is the falling rim, limb, okay. So, these are the components of a hydrograph. And one more thing, point A is what? Point A is the point of rise, point B and D, what are those are inflation point, okay. Since this is rising, then it is falling, it starts slope is changing from positive to negative. C is the peak point, D is the end of overland flow, and E is the end of direct runoff, okay. At point D, okay, runoff completely ceases, and at point E direct runoff, at point E direct runoff, end of direct runoff. Okay. So, what the duration between A to E, this is the base duration, this is the base time, this is the base time or time base, okay, represented by T b, and the duration of the crust point C, where the maximum discharge has been recorded. So, this is known as lag time, this is known as lag time or simply T L, represented by T L, lag time. Okay. This lag time is required because certain depression storage, certain movement of water has to be taken place. Okay. So, certain time is required to reach this point C, right. Factors affecting, I told you previously, and here for a small catchment, overland flow is more than the channel flow, and that is why we are getting this one, this type of flatter type of, okay, peaks. For large catchment, overland flow is less than channel flow, then we are getting this type of shape. Other factors on which the hydrograph depends is the shape of the catchment. Okay. Shape of the catchment, if the shape is like this, okay, if the shape is like this, okay, and that shape is fan shaped catchment, if fan shaped catchment, okay, then we will get this type of steeper this type of hydrographs. If our catchment is in this shape, okay, if it is in this shape, then we will get this flatter type of hydrographs, okay, and that shape is fan shaped catchment. Okay. Based on the slope, for steep channel, we will observe this type of hydrograph. For flat channel, we will get this type of hydrographs. Okay. So, these are the factors affecting that. Now, come to next slide, that is a base flow separation. Base flow separation. A point and E point. Okay, I told you in previous slide that A point and E point. A point point of rise, and E point end of direct runoff. So, what this portion will indicate? Okay, what is the volume? Since this is q, this is time t. So, this volume will be what? This volume will be base flow. This volume will be base flow. Okay, that volume will be base flow. Okay. So, it is not immediate. Okay, it is time taking. So, in analysis of the hydrograph, we need this part. Okay, Okay, and when we subtract that flow from the hydrograph, then we will get direct runoff hydrograph, DRH. Then we will get DRH when we will subtract that flow from the runoff. Okay. So, separation of this base flow is important. So, how we can do? We can do many different ways. We can do different ways. First, one thing is to separate these two, direct and base flow. Simply join this line, okay, join these two line, okay, then you can separate. But this joining point A and E by straight line, this is a rough work. Okay. So, another method is to take okay, point E, okay, find the point E, okay, by this one equations, by this one equation, okay, n is equal to 0.83 times of a to power 0.2, where a is the area of catchment in kilometer square, okay, where a is the area of catchment in kilometer squares. So, acha, point A is defined, but point E, the identification of point is difficult, okay, point is difficult. So, from the peak point, okay, this distance, okay, find out the drop intercept and the intercept point that represents point E. So, it will be separated out, okay, it will be separated out. We have also other methods, slope method. What is that? If our hydrograph is like this, okay, if say we have this type of hydrograph, okay. So, what we will do? We will extend this line, okay, we will extend this line, okay, that point is A, that point is A, okay, according to that slope, okay, according to that slope, drop a perpendicular through the crust, okay, say this is the point, okay, and say this is the okay, here it is, say okay, yeah, slope is like this, okay, okay. So, the extended line is this. So, drop a point, drop a perpendicular at n distance. So, this point is A. So, join this point. So, the base flow will be under that, okay, will be area within these two lines. So, what we will do? You will need to calculate the slope of this line, then you will you can separate out the base flow, okay. So, another thing with the hydrograph is that rising limb and crest segments are influenced by the Strum factor, okay. This one, rising limb and crest limbs, both rising and crest limbs are influenced by the Strum factor and catchment factors, okay, that I have told you, recession limb, okay, recession limb is influenced by catchment factors only. Recession limb is this one part, recession limb is influenced only by the catchment factors, factors, okay. And you should also remember that if precipitation I1 is more than I2, if I1 is greater than I2, then this rising limb for I1 it will be here, okay, it will be above as to this, okay. Similarly, crust, if for higher precipitation will be at higher side, okay, will be at the upper side for upper precipitation, right. Here okay. Once we subtracted the base flow, then what we will get? We will get this type of graph, we will get this type of graph. Okay. This is what? This is Stram hydrograph. This is Stram hydrograph. Stram hydrograph includes both direct runoff as well base flow, but when we subtract the base flow from this graph, then we will get this type of graph. This type of graph means point A will be at t is equal to 0 and E it will be here. Okay, it will be here, and this is DRH means direct runoff hydrograph. It is direct runoff of DRH, direct runoff hydrograph. Okay. So, next thing is runoff measurement using hydrographs, runoff measurements using hydrographs. Since we know that volume of runoff, what will be the volume of runoff? Volume of runoff, it will be the area under d hour DRH. Actually, one thing is remaining with the hydrograph is that this D, importance of in hydrograph, this capital D, duration of the storm is much more important. Duration of the storm is much more important. So, D hour means for what hour, of the precipitation the hydrograph has been plotted, that is more, that is important. Okay, because the hydrograph is the response of a catchment. Okay. So, area under d hour DRH. Okay, DRH d hour DRH. So, that has to be okay. It means this type of thing is that. Okay, this type of thing is that. Okay, this is precipitation P. Okay, this is precipitation P. So, the area and area under DRH. Okay, and the depth of runoff, what will be? It will be the volume of runoff divided by the catchment area, Okay. So, catchment area. Okay. So, the next thing is to calculate the volume of the runoff. Okay, volume of the runoff. How we will calculate the volume of runoff? Okay, say if we have triangle shape. Okay, if our hydrograph is triangular, then its volume will be what? Half this peak, it is QP, and time TB, base time. Okay, if it is something like parallelogram, then we will use this expression to calculate the area, because the area gives the volume of the runoff. Okay, and what is the area? It is sum of these parallel lines divided by 2 multiply by this peak discharge. Okay. Similarly, if we have this type of graph, okay, if we have this type of graph, then what we will do? We will divide this graph into different ordinate. Okay, we will divide different graph into ordinate. Okay, at proper duration, at some duration, time interval, Okay, and that ordinate will be used to calculate the area. Okay, and the same formula will be applicable. Parallelogram, that formula is applicable. Okay, considering this type of thing. Okay, Okay, so del t, its value will be del t into ordinate, sum of the ordinate, right? Sum of the ordinate. So, in next class we will continue rainfall excess. Okay, if plot is given, then we can calculate the value of rainfall. That will we will continue in next class. Okay. So, thank you very much.